Hello everybody, AJ Ryzik here, and today we've got another Solus tutorial. Today we are looking at software. We are going to install software, we're going to remove software, we are going to update our system, and I'm going to show you how to do it both from the software center and then also from the command line. So you'll learn how to do it both ways. So want to learn how to do that stuff? Stay tuned, and here we go. So let's start out by updating our system and installing some software, probably what a lot of people would consider the easy way, and we're going to use the software center. So up on your panel, this little arrow, that is for your software center. You could also go to the menu and you can just do a keyboard search for software center. You can see it right there. Either way, you get the same place. So let's open it up. And as far as this is pretty self-explanatory, but just so I can walk through it real quick. If you go to updates, you want to update your system, you'll be able to see everything that needs to be updated. So you can come through here, click on everything that needs to be updated, and do an update select. Now, while I'm on the subject, you see how you get a little arrow right next to the various categories. You can go and click on that little arrow, and it will show you all the different packages in that particular category that need to be updated. So pretty cool there. So from this point, you just need to click on Update Selected, put in your password, and boom, you're done. Now you can also go to Settings here. And you can see by default it's automatically set for automatically check for updates. I think that's a good thing, and it's automatically set for enable checking for updates on metered connections. Here you can play around with your update frequency, hourly, daily, weekly, however you want to do that, and then the types of updates do you want to be notified about. Personally, I would stick with all updates, but you see here you can just go security updates or security and core updates. Now, as far as installing software, individual pieces of software, couple things you can do with the software center here. You can go and browse by category. So let's go under multimedia and take a look at the different things that we've got available here. Like let's go under video software and go and select whatever it is that you want to install. Like let's just say, for example, we want to install handbrake right here. It goes to handbrake, click install, type in your password, authenticate, and boom, it installs it for you. Nice, simple, easy to go. Now you don't have to go and search via the or browse, I guess I should say, and dig through each of these categories. If you know the name of the piece of software that you want to install, you can just go into search and oh, what is it that I would like to, oh, I tell you what, Kdenlive. I use Kdenlive all the time. So Kden, and you don't even have to put in the whole word, just Kden, and boom, it pulls up Kdenlive. Go and install that, and you can see here all of the dependencies, which are the I guess you can say the software that's needed so that you can run the software. I guess the easiest way to explain it in layman's terms. But anyway, go and click install there. We don't need to put in the password since I just put it in just a second ago. Allow it to go through its install process, and boom, we're done. Okay, with all that done, let's do something that's only just slightly more complicated. We're going to do our updates and install software via the command line through the terminal. Now I know new users are probably freaking out, oh, using the command line, and whatnot. It's really not all that complicated, and actually, if you know the names of the packages that you want to install, I think, at least myself, I think it's more efficient to install via the command line than through the software center. Anyway, so let's open up our terminal, and it popped up over my other screen. So let me drag it over here. I'm going to increase the font there just so it's a little easier for you guys to see. So let's go and install, I don't know, I'll tell you what, we'll install Blender, which is, if you're not familiar with it, it is a 3D animation software. So the first thing you type in sudo, which stands for, I guess the way you could think of it is super user do. The super user is going to do something, which means you're going to do something that requires administrative privileges. So sudo, and then EO PKG, EO package, I guess is what you'd call that, install Blender. Type in our password. And it tells you right there all the packages that will be installed. So Blender has some different, some dependencies that are needed so that, so that you can run the software. It lists all those dependencies there, total size of the packages that will be installed. Do you want to continue? Y for yes. And just sit back and let it do its thing. Okay, so that's how you install. Now, if you want to go and update everything in your system, you can do that through the command line as well. It is sudo, once again, EO package upgrade. Now, if we just do upgrade like that, it's going to upgrade everything in our system, which actually is what I want to do here. If you wanted to just update one particular piece of software, like going back to the Blender example, if I wanted to just upgrade Blender, I could then type in Blender and go from there. But I want to upgrade everything, so just sudo EO package upgrade, hit enter. Shows you everything that's going to upgrade. Click Y for yes. Boom, there you go. And once again, just sit back and let it do its thing. Now this is going to take a little while longer than just installing that one piece of software, because this is a fresh install of Solus here. So I'm going to pause the video while all this stuff goes on, and then we'll come back. Okay, that is installed. All my upgrades are installed. So for the most part, we're good to go on that. Now, one additional thing for those of you that are dual booting, maybe you're dual booting Solus and Windows, 7, 10, 8, whatever, or you may have another Linux OS on your system. Whatever the case is, if you have multiple systems on your computer, one of the things that you will need to do after a upgrade that installs a new kernel, which happened in this update. Let's see if I can see. Now, I'm not going to scroll through all that to try to find where the kernel upgraded. Long story short, it upgraded. I saw it as the upgrades were going on. So one of the things that will happen is that the grub, which is when you're multi-booter and you flip on your computer, you get that little menu that pops up. Do you want to go into Windows? Do you want to go into Solus and whatnot? I've noticed that with Solus it doesn't update, so you're going to need to go and update that. It's real easy to do. Just do sudo update dash grub, hit enter, and it'll show you everything. As it's updating, you'll see all the different operating systems on your particular computer. And as you can see, I've got a bunch on here just because of those are what I'm testing right now. So you may run into an occasion where you need to uninstall a piece of software. If you are on the command line, it's sudo eopkg. Hey, we're getting used to that part of things, huh? Um, and then just do remove, and let's do Blender again. And there it is. It pulled Blender off for us. Oh, and kind of the final thing that I wanted to show y'all, you are not limited to just installing or removing a single package at a time. Um, for example, and this kind of gets to where I was saying that if you know the names of the pieces of software, the packages that you want to install, it is more efficient to use the command line to install your software as opposed to the software center. I have, and let me drag it over here so you can see it. I've got this text file that I keep right here. It's got a list of every piece of software that I use on my system. So, I've got sudo eo package, and let's install, and I can just go and copy and paste from this text file. Let me copy from over there, paste it in, and as long as I don't have a typo in there, this will work for me. There you go. Shows you everything that's going to be installed, and of course a lot of the packages have dependencies. Do I want to continue? Yes. Boom. There we go. And it'll start updating and installing, and all that kind of stuff. And that pretty much finishes up the video. Covers just about everything I wanted to show you as far as updating and installing software, removing software, all that kind of stuff. There will be more in this video series, basics of how to use all kinds of stuff on Solus. So be sure to check out the playlist and look at those videos. So, as always, leave comments, questions, all that kind of stuff down below. I try to get to it as soon as possible. And if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. And I hope to see you all on my next video. Thanks a lot.